Today we're looking at something brand new from our friends at Injora. It's the 24th scale version of the IR60. Stay tuned. Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. It has been a while, so I have, as you may or may not know, been away from RC and YouTube as well for that matter for probably about 6 months. So imagine my surprise when I got an email through from my friends over at Injora. They reached out to me and said, would I like to test a product that they're about to release? And that is the IR60 body for the SCX24. Although I have been away from RC for a while, like I say, I haven't been completely living under a rock. So I do still get lots of emails and watch lots of videos and all that kind of stuff. And I've seen the IR60 for the TRX4M, and I really like the look of it. So I thought, okay, why not? You know, as soon as they said that, let's go, let's have a look. So I sent them through my list of terms for a review, which I got ChatGPT to generate for me. Thank you very much. And they agreed to that. So here we are. So full disclaimer, this is a review of a product that I've been sent specifically for the purposes of review. It's not a paid for review. It is my opinion, and it is an honest opinion, and you can choose to take it or choose to leave it. There you go. So here it is, most importantly. And do you know, I really like it. Now, and I say that about most things, but generally I don't buy things that I don't think I'm going to like. Now, obviously I didn't buy this, it was sent for, for review, so it was a freebie, but do you know, I think it's great. I probably wouldn't have chosen the purple colour. In fact, I don't think I did. I think when they asked me which colour I'd like, I think I said green because they were the two options. But no matter, because the purple is the one that arrived, and actually I really do like it. I think it's quite smart. So this is a pickup style hard body, kind of styled after a sort of late 80s, early 90s Toyota-ish kind of pickup. And yeah, it's a really good looking thing. I think it's great. So what we'll do, we'll get in the overhead cam and we'll get a closer look and we'll see what we think. So obviously this is a ABS hard body, like I say, nicely molded, nicely detailed body shell, separate panels on the rear and then a caged back. You can run it without those panels if you want to take a little bit of extra weight out of the rear. I might give that a try later, but it's all pretty open in there. So it might look a little bit weird, but it looks really cool as it is, I think. So obviously as you look at that, you can see there is a slight tuck on the front and the rear as well. So that kind of gives it a little bit of extra clearance. Now I'm running this with the Mius Racing Axials that have got the really like crazy steering angle on them. So I am getting a bit of body rub at full steer, but you know, that's kind of to be expected. And when the suspension is kind of flexed out a little bit, that's not an issue because it sits nice and high. Only when that's in like a sort of full flex position and we're going to have a problem there. But actually it didn't cause any problems on the test run that I did. So there's multiple colour options. Like I say, when I was asked if I wanted to do this review, that was purple and green. Now I've since seen on the website, which I will put a link down below. You can get black, I think there's a tan, grey, and they vary in terms of whether they have a black bonnet or not. Obviously the black one does, the grey one doesn't, that's all colour coded. I think the tan one is as well, or sand, whatever they've called it. But the green and purple obviously have this kind of black bonnet detail, or hood detail, depending on where you are in the world. There are two front grille options. So there's this kind of more traditional style grille, and there's also a slightly different kind of perhaps more modern looking grille, maybe a little bit angrier looking as well. And bizarrely they do supply the LEDs to go in the headlamp buckets as well, and they are two different sizes depending on which grille you pick. So this grille obviously has 5mm, and these that I've put on have a 3mm, which I think are plenty bright enough. You know, you don't run these things in the dark particularly, but if you wanted to, you could. So there are some separate molded details. So there's some little windscreen wipers, they come separate. These grills vents on the side and the wing mirrors, and a nice little front bumper as well. The windscreen wipers to me are a bit flimsy. They're made of a hard plastic, and one of mine is broken already. I caught it probably on this woolly sweater, and that's broken. What they should have done, in my opinion, is make them rubber, like these brilliant rubberized or rubber wing mirrors. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I'm forever catching and breaking wing mirrors, and I think that's a great idea. They look fine, and they're not going to break. So, yeah, positive plus points to Injora for that one. So, like many SCX24s, it is hinged at the back, but as you can see, there's no body pins on the front, which is lovely, and that is because it comes with a magnet setup. Now, because I'm using a different chassis, a non-standard chassis, I couldn't use the magnet mount that comes with it, but it does come with this little mount, which just slots into the body post holes on your standard SCX24, and that'll fit nicely and provide you with somewhere to mount the 2 screw-on magnets, and then you can just mount the other magnets underneath the body. They do provide you with some really good sticky, double-sided sticky for that, the 3M stuff. I've only used one of the magnets for the time being, and it seems to be pretty much okay. I mean, it holds just about. I probably should put both on there, but for now, I'm happy with that. That's okay. So as you can see, it does bolt straight on to the chassis rails, and it is keyed the same way as the normal SCX24 are. So if you've got the standard SCX24 kind of C-channel chassis rails, this will just slot straight into there, clip in, and then 1 screw on each side, and it fits perfectly. And then same on the front with the bumper, and there you go, you're good to go. That's it. It's 4 screws. Once you've assembled the thing, it's only 4 screws to fit it, and it fits really nicely. Like I say, I'm using the Injora LCG chassis here because my original SCX24 chassis is long gone. No idea where that is now. It'd be in a cupboard somewhere. So I sort of stripped out what was left, well, what was actually my MB24, my Mius Racing MB24, and have built it into this. And do you know what? I really, really like it. I genuinely thought that I would probably just put this on for the review and then just chuck it all back onto the MB24 because I really like the MB24. But actually, I'm pretty certain now I'm going to keep it as is. I have had to make a couple of changes. I had to print my own sliders because I've either removed or modified or lost the little carbon fibre plates. Plus, because I switched to the FuriTech, I couldn't mount the battery across the front like I used to. So I've had to make a few changes. But that's, you know, that's to be expected when you're running a custom chassis. So that's all good. If people are interested, I'm happy to make the files that I've used, both the battery tray, the sliders, and the magnet mount, available on Thingiverse. And the one thing I have had to do is change the battery that I use. I normally use these kind of 450 stick batteries, but they're just too wide. They kind of won't really fit into the body very well. I mean, they do just about, but not very well. So I've switched out to this kind of 350 zippy battery that I have. Initial test seems to be fine. You do get some stickers with it, which are, you know, the sort of standard kind of Injora sticker pack. I'm not normally a big fan of their stickers, to be honest, because they're quite thick. I find them a little bit too thick. But these are okay. You know, I've just put a couple on, and they're fine. I don't know whether I might put some more on, we'll see. So let's go through the good points. The good points for me are it looks great. I think it's a really, really nice looking body. I'm very tempted to buy the black one as well, because I think it looks super smart. It's quite easy to assemble. So you do get some instructions, an instruction sheet. Where are we? Let's get that centered. You get an instruction sheet. It's reasonably easy to follow. I suppose the thing to notice is that there's basically 3 different screw sizes. The easiest way I found was just to sort them into small, medium and large piles. And whenever you need an 8, it's the large ones. Whenever you need a 4, it's the small ones. You know, simple as that really. So you don't have to keep measuring them up or making sure you've got the right ones. But once you've got that system in place, if that's the system you want to use, super quick and dead easy to build. Took me probably 10 minutes tops to put that together. It's taken me considerably longer to get it all working with that chassis the way I wanted it. It bolted straight on, that wasn't a problem. But then I had to, design a mount for the magnets and various other bits and pieces. So it's been a nice little project actually for me to just kind of get me back into doing that kind of stuff. So pretty pleased with that. I'm going to assume it bolts straight into a standard SCX24 chassis. It certainly looks like it does on the photos that I've seen online. I can't imagine that it wouldn't. It's designed to. That's what it's designed for. So it should just bolt straight in. But it does fit this LCG chassis very nicely. The dimensions are right. I have got a very slight forward. The bumper is very slightly forward of the front wheels, but it's still an extremely good approach angle. It's an extremely good departure angle. So I'm pretty confident that this is going to drive really well. Bad points, there are a couple of bad points for me. I think overall it's quite a narrow body, so it does make it a little bit of a challenge to kind of fit things onto sliders and stuff. Like I say, I had to kind of custom print a load of things. That's partially to be expected because it is a custom build that I've done with it. But also, it's a little bit of a faff. It's not a big deal, it's a little bit of a faff. I'm really nitpicking here. And the other nitpick for me is those windscreen wipers, like I say. They're just a bit too fragile, really. And I didn't even notice that I'd snapped that one, but I snapped it. That, for me, should have been rubberized. So there we go, that's all the kind of details you need, I think. Let's get over onto my little test track. The weather's shocking here at the minute, so I'm not bothering going outside with it. But yeah, let's go over there. And we'll talk through the run and see what we think. Okay, so first, straight in with the tough climb. This is a very tricky little climb, this. It doesn't look as steep as it actually is. The camera doesn't quite do it justice. It is a gnarly little climb. It's also wearing quite smooth in some places. So even these kind of pin tyres struggle for traction sometimes. I think as you can see there though, the rig seems to be pretty well weighted. It doesn't look like it's going to tip. It certainly didn't feel like it was going to tip over at any point. The MB24 by comparison does tip there occasionally. But yeah, it drags itself up there quite nicely. Slips back a little bit there. Wasn't paying attention. Too busy trying to make sure I've got the camera angle correct. So there's a pretty tricky turn up at the top here. This board is only 2 feet wide, so there's not a huge area to turn in. Even with the help of that kind of bank at the top, it struggles to get round there. But we make it round just about. It's not particularly elegant, but we get round. Thanks to that super steering angle on those Mias Racing Axials. And we'll spin the view round, take a look from the top of the hill. Again, this is a really tight turn onto the bridge, but it takes it in its stride, up and over, no problem. You can possibly hear there is a little tiny bit of tyre rub, like I said before, when the steering is in those extremes, but generally it seems to be coping quite nicely. And we just zip up the narrow climb. When I put this together, I was not using quite such wide axles, so this climb is very tricky. As you can see, it's kind of only just wide enough for those axles, but we just about make it up there. And like I say, we'll spin round over at the top again. It does seem to turn easier in this direction for some reason. Still, again, not an elegant dismount, shall we say, but we just about make it down, I think, without it all rolling over. I think that's a good example there of how stable it is, and shows there's not really an issue with it being top heavy. So there we have it then. The IR60-24, or 24 scale from Injora, moulded hard body pickup for the SCX24. No idea if it fits any other of that sort of 1/24 scale genre. I'm sure you could perhaps get it to fit, but your mileage may vary on that one. Certainly it fits beautifully on the SCX24 standard chassis, I'm sure, from the pictures I've seen, and it fits really nicely onto this Injora LCG chassis as well. So there we go, folks. Hope that was helpful. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you like the product. If you do, I will pop a link in the description below where you can go and get one of these for yourself. I get no commission from that. It's not a discounted link or an affiliate link or anything like that. It's just a link to where you can go to get one of these for yourself, if you so desire. I will be back, I'm sure, in the future with other similar reviews. Certainly if I pick up something new for any of the trucks, I'll definitely be jumping on here and sharing that with you. But don't expect regular content, as I'm sure you've come to be used to by now from this channel. Thanks for joining us. If you're still a subscriber, thank you very much for sticking with us. If you're not, please do hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video and you found it useful, and we will see you on the next one.